Hi guys, Blake here with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful Upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Thursday the 23rd of July and this is the one cast. Today I boated up here. I am just above Trout Hollow Lodge. I'm sitting right here, got the boat spot locked on the seam line right here, and I'm actually going to try throwing. I've got a rod that Mike Riffle built me. It's specifically made for throwing 1/32 ounce jigs, and I've got that on 2-pound test with a 1/32 ounce sculpin on sculpin. And you know, they're running about 4 units right now. I think it's dropping just a little bit, but this eddy right over here, that water is definitely moving slow enough to be throwing a 1/32 ounce jig. So that's what I'm gonna do. Well, that doesn't count. All right, let's try that again. There we go, much better. All right, so fishing reports for today. We had a couple guys that were drifting in their boat right in front of our dock earlier. They said it was his last cast, and as he was drifting past the front of the dock, he caught a 22-inch 5.7 pound brown trout, and I believe he was drifting a night crawler. Had some good reports of a few good numbers of fish being caught on some power bait today down by the landing. Talked to a guy who said he used kind of like a MEPS spinner. Said he caught 12 or 13 today. And I saw a few of our other rental boats come back with fish, so it seems like the fish were biting pretty decent today. This trolling motor is the new trolling motor we have for Bass Boat 3. We got ones for this boat and for the pontoon boats, and I believe they all have the spot lock function on them. The wind has decided to get kind of vicious here. Off spot lock and just kind of drift down. Another really busy day on the lake. Hot and humid, but I definitely heard a lot more reports of fish being caught from our boats that got rented out than I have in the past week for sure. I had a group report that they caught like 40 stockers downtown. So they may have just stocked down there. I haven't heard about it yet, but that is definitely a possibility. Blowing like this, I might be at a disadvantage with my 2-pound test. It's kind of grabbing it and get them out here. Captain B this morning had a trip, and they put a 24-inch rainbow in the boat on their first cast. I believe they were fishing the trophy area. What I'm aiming to do right now is I'm casting. Oh, that fish came right up for it. Dang it. I had one chase me all the way to the boat. I'm casting this over the top of the seam line, and then I'm hoping that by the time I get it to the seam line, I've got it deep enough to catch the fish, because on this inside bin, they're usually sitting right there on the seam between the current and the slack water. Other places, if you're wanting to throw a smaller jig and try some more, you know, finesse light rod 2-pound test, anywhere behind an island, any eddy or inside bin like I'm on now, those are going to be good bets to go throw something a little lighter. About, oh, I'd say it's about just right at 7 o'clock in the evening right now. Kind of tempted to turn the boat on and kind of drive down below this corner and see if the wind's not so bad down there. So something I'm doing when the wind's blowing this much is I'm popping it, but as soon as I do, I'm putting that line back down as close to the water as I can, and that allows the jig to sink. Oh, that was a hit. Darn it. I'm kind of playing around with it a little bit right now. I'm starting it off by kind of working it closer to the surface, and then once I get it a little farther out, I'm letting it sink down and trying to get it down to the bottom. Just seeing if they're anywhere near the top, because I'm seeing a few fish here in front of me hitting the surface, probably midging. And when you're using a jig this small, it can, I know it's a little big, but it can sometimes imitate the midge hatch and get their attention near the surface. I know that Dragon Scuds is still working down below the trophy area. very fast. So I think I'm gonna turn the boat on and I'm gonna drive down around this bend here and see if I can get away from this wind. Maybe even get the get in some shade, and maybe the fish are holding there a little better. I'm still doing it. I'm changing spots. Come down here just a little ways. I'm right over here by that old generator and pump on the north side now. And as soon as I got around that bend, the wind has virtually died off, so looks like I should have started right here. That 2-pound test really gets tossed around in the wind pretty good. This little area is usually good for at least a fish on a jig anytime I come through here, but every day is different, I guess. Keep forgetting I don't have a foot pedal, just got a remote. Working a 1/32 ounce jig, if there's any water moving, is definitely requires a little more patience. You really got to kind of let that thing sink. But sometimes that slower fall the fish really like, whenever the jig's falling slower. Looking like it's going to be a pretty busy weekend on the lake based on today's traffic. So far, I've only had one little chaser. gonna start trying some smaller pops here, and maybe that'll keep my jig closer to the bottom. It's been a while since I worked a jig this small. Oh, that was definitely a hit. And he liked it better whenever I was just kind of giving it little pops there. Just kind of stuff you got to play around with when you're out here trying to figure out how they want it, because they change their minds an awful lot. Wow. I thought for sure working this inside bend with a small jig was going to be the ticket tonight. Yeah, maybe they don't want my sculpin jig. I did bring a few other colors with me. This is one of my go-to colors anytime I'm jig fishing. And you know what? I think I'm gonna switch and tie on a black and yellow 1/32 ounce here real quick. During the summertime, the black combo jigs can be a good choice. Black and olives, black and yellows, black and chartreuse. Go. Alright, so I got a little black and yellow on there now. See if I can change my luck here. Just about 200 yards away from the dock now, over here on the inside seam. Dwayne was sitting at the dock a second ago. I think he's got a night fishing trip tonight. We'll see how he does tonight and get a report. I thought about tying on a white when I left. I've been having some success with a different type of white baits kind of towards the evening. And it seems like the white's been working better in the evening this year than more than it did last year, and I'm not exactly sure why that is, but figured with the shade on the bank that there'd at least be a few fish over here, but I guess it's possible that they're still holding out in the middle of the lake. Which, if I was gonna go fish out there, I'd need to tie on something heavier, like a 3/32 ounce, probably, for the flow that we're looking at right now. I've had a few hits. They're not hitting it very hard. Oh. Alright, I'm almost back to the dock. I'm gonna take a couple more casts. Looks like the fish might have beat up on me again today. Funny, I'm seeing them surface pretty good. Maybe I should have came out here with a fly rod and a midge. And it's possible that even though this water's running really slow over here, it might not be sinking fast enough for them. I don't know. I think I'm going to take one more cast after this, and then I'm calling it. You know, that reminds me, I talked to some people earlier that said that they were just dragging jigs across the bottom, and said that they were catching a few fish. So maybe that's what I should be doing. Alright, last cast. Okay. Well, they don't want to cooperate with me today, but there's something you can come out here and try and find these inside seams and put on something smaller and work it through there, and sometimes it produces a lot of fish. But we thank you guys for watching. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll do it again tomorrow.